Yo, what's up, y'all? Rat Pack all day. It's Logic, sitting down, exclusive with my boy Nick Huff on Hardknocktv, Bobby Tarantino. The exclusive first interview ever.
Let's talk about the intro.
So super quick. Damn, I love, man, we just be going. So the intro, if you reverse it, which I'm sure fans have already done by now, I'm literally like, yo, this is Logic. So in case you don't know, and the reason it's called Illuminatro is because it's like some Illuminati shit all backwards, just to kind of play on that for fun. And basically what I'm saying is, and you'll probably be able by now to find it on the internet, it's in reverse. And originally what I said, I'm like, yo, what's up, y'all? It's Logic. I'm on tour right now. I'm on my sold out world tour. I've been slaving away. I'm working on this crazy ass mixtape for you guys. This shit is just for the summer. Have fun with this. But that real shit, that shit's gonna be coming on the album. So just enjoy this. And that's what it is, man. And,
you said that and it's played backwards.
I said that and it's played backwards. So I know
if somebody turns it around,
they'll hear that.
They'll hear that.
And that's the point. And that's the first thing I wanted you to hear, whether it was subconsciously on some Lucifer. No, I'm just kidding. I'm joking. But no. Like whether, like subconsciously you got it, or you were one of the people who was like, I wonder what he's saying. Maybe you're a DJ and you spun it in Serato or did something like, but that's I started off the whole record like for all the fans, true fans, even because there's a lot of fans out there who no matter what they'll support me, but maybe this isn't their favorite Sonic from Logic.
Which is crazy because when you first told me about this project, I thought I might be one of those fans.
Yeah.
I was like, you're gonna do a turn up tape? Like I was like, all right, let's see what this is about.
Yeah.
But the crazy part is you're doing a turn up tape as Logic. You're not doing a turn up tape as like somebody
else. I'm not trying to be somebody else.
No, so in the lyrics you're still killing 100%. It. You're still talking about shit.
I'm talking about reading Indiana Jones.
Yeah, even like the track with Push.
That's one thing I love on Wrist. I created a song about crack with Pusha T, which is awesome. So Coke Rap 101. But did it in a way where it was conceptual, and I created a Colombian fictional drug lord that could be, reference to drug lords that are famous. And, kind of creating this whole picture that I'm painting by the flick of my wrist, or writing to paint a picture with the flick of my wrist, and using that play of words like, look at the flick of that wrist, but talking about writing. So it's funny because nothing I'm actually talking about is about selling dope. It's weird. It's really weird. But it isn't, because it's about a guy and then, this drug lord. I open it up. Let me tell you about a young man. Matter of fact, I'm going to let Push tell that. I'm going to tell you about a young man, had a change of heart and then fell back.
I'm going to tell you about an old man.
Yeah. Yeah. So let me tell you about an old man, had a change of heart and then fell back. And to me, him having his whole life in the drug cartel and being the head and this and that. And then later in life, in his 60s, seeing his compound be raided by the military and his wife being shot in all of it, and seeing it and then fleeing and being a man on the run and not having all of his riches because everything was seized, and he's like, what have I done? Meanwhile, all of, his cocaine and all this shit trickled down into the United States and then into the projects, where a Pusha T is then like, baggies, we got rich in there, we had a bitch in there, like talking about being in the condo and cooking crack. And this is another thing that's funny, because some people might be like, why is Logic talking about coke and da-da? Which is really funny, because I'm not talking about selling dope or anything like this, but that's another thing. Like anybody would be like, why is Logic trying to talk about this? That's another fucking person. Just shut the fuck up, because you obviously don't know immediately. Like, I've cooked crack on a stove, you idiot. But you don't know that because you got on the train real late just to hate. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a real thing. But that's not even what this is about. And you're trying to turn it into that. But it's like, and that's another thing where it's like, so for somebody to be like, oh, you ain't never done that before. And then I'm like, well, actually, yeah, I have done this before. And they're like, oh, okay. Why is it, like for me to tell a fictional story about something that has happened in real life, but I'm using it to paint a picture, why is that not cool unless I've actually done it? Right. Do you know what I mean? That'd be one thing if I was like, yeah, I'm distributing this crack and shooting motherfuckers and da-da-da-da. That's why I said like pulling strings like Geppetto, who overcame the ghetto on 44 bars. Like I never had to deal with that shit because I saw it young and was like, nah, fuck this shit. I'm straight. I don't want to be. Anyway, sorry for the rant.
No, but when I hear your first verse, it's a cautionary tale. It's like, it's from the perspective of the guy who did it, and he's at the end of his life. So it's not like you're glorifying it. It's like you're telling the story of this is the full circle of, oh, this guy did it, and now he's paying the consequences, and he's seeing all his friends locked up, he's seeing his wife, raided, and then you're also seeing the consequences of his action, which
for the rest of the world.
For the rest of the world.
Including America and the projects. That's exactly what it is, and I'm just glad I got to do a conceptual record about cocaine with Pusha T. That's just the coolest shit to me. Because I could have done it. I could have talked about my experiences or my brother's experiences or what I witnessed or this or that, but I've kind of already talked about that on my albums.
Right.
So it wasn't really about, my dad or whatever the case. I could have talked about shit, I could have flipped it and, even told it from the perspective of my father, being hooked on something and then going through it and then getting clean. And so it could have been a whole bunch of ways, but I liked how it was because it was very, Pusha got to fucking rap his ass off and have some fun, and so did I, and I got to tell a story about, like you said, a cautionary tale, like a man witnessing his wife get shot to death because of how he lived his life. But she knew what he did, though. Right, so, you know what I mean? But yeah, anyway.
And then the fact that you're telling the tale is the double entendre, the flipping the
exactly.
Wrist. So
that flick of the wrist, that's the double entendre of painting a picture or telling a story about flicking your wrist in the kitchen, but I'm flicking my wrist to paint that picture. I just think it's so fun. I think it's super cool. I think it's different, and I never heard of no shit like that. So
we got wrist.
Yep.
We got the intro. We got into Flexicution a little bit.
Yep.
Flexicution to me is you pumping out your chest.
Yeah.
And did you feel that, was that part of okay, you had #1 hip hop album in the world with the last one, and did you feel like you're still not getting the respect you deserve? Or where does that pumping my chest, I'm about to just kill him right now and just show him that I can flex on him one time?
It's kind of even less about the world and more even just me and my own world. It's not me trying to go, hey, everybody. It wasn't even that. It was just I'm just going to have fun. Everything I'm doing is for me, man. It wasn't always like that, Now everything is just for me, So me doing that was I'm just going to talk that shit.
Yeah.
It's that Flexicution. This is me not worried about what other people thought. Because if I was worried about what other people thought, I was trying to pump my chest to them, I wouldn't have taken a risk like this, which is doing trap rap, but logic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a whole this is how I actually was fuck what anybody thinks, including anybody who claims to be a fan that isn't a true fan, because a true fan will want me to do whatever I want as long as I put my heart and soul into it, and I've put my heart and soul to it. Yeah. So it's fuck any and everybody. This is me, man. This is Bobby having a good time. Yeah, Bobby Tarantino.
Yo, you got more aliases than MF Doom right now, bro.
Nice. Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, Flexicution was just, it's just that, Flexicution. And shout out my boy Justin. He came up with that name. Apparently him and his boy in New York, and then he was just saying it on the road. He was like, Flexicution. And I was like, what the fuck? And then I went to the back of my bus, and I had my SM7 mic, and I was rapping, and I was like, just that Flexicution. I was just being stupid, joking around, and then I was like, whoa. That sounds tight. and I just did it just worked out, man.
So we got Flex, we got Wrist, we got the intro.
Oh, the jam.
The jam.
The jam.